Yo, what's up? What's going on? What's good, everyone? We are here, the Boxing Source. We're checking in here on a Friday. Usually we don't have lives on for Fridays. Usually we have, of course, the midweek report Wednesdays, and of course, the Boxing Source podcast that is on Sundays here. But we're trying to see if we could link up with one of our great promoters that is out here, and he is here joining us live. Of course, he has a lot of news here, when it comes to what's going on. But we'll see if he could give us more updates in reference to all of that here in a moment, because he definitely wants to let the people know what's going on with his fighters and his promotional company here. So we're gonna see if he's able to get on here with us. Let's see. It looks like he's just about to try to get on here now in a moment. So just waiting for him to get everything straight situated and sorted out here in a bit. Now, of course, he's been part of multiple conversations here on the Boxing Source. We've also talked with him on multiple channels here. So I'm going to see here if we got him all good here for right now. Of course, it's our great friend, a great guy, former fighter, now, of course, promoter, leader of Salita Promotions. Is Dmitriy Salita with us here? What's going on?
How do everything's good? Good to be on. Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Oh,
We are
nice.
live.
Oh my
What's
God,
good
you put
with
me
you?
on the spot, man. Life
Yeah.
is tough.
Now, of course, we had the big news the other day, reference to Claressa Shields, as on July 27th at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. She will be headlining there, going for the WBC heavyweight title against Vanessa Jones there. And I think that's going to be part of, once again, the presentation of Big Time Boxing USA. So that's another, great event there for Big Time Boxing USA there in Detroit. So talk to us about that and, getting that put together.
So for Claressa, we want to find the most meaningful and challenging fights for her, and that's been Claressa's direction to me since the beginning of her career. And the rematch with Savannah Marshall at this point has not matured yet, and we couldn't make it happen because Savannah is fighting in the PFL fight this Saturday. So we were looking long and hard and reached out to some fighters. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Some of the top fighters, everybody said no, and Vanessa said yes. And we felt that it was a significant fight. Claressa's fourth weight division, like Roy Jones moved up in weight to fight John Ruiz, quite significant. And she could fight. She's a tough girl. She's a big girl. She's coming to win, and it's happening at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, which is on its way to becoming one of the boxing's destination in the United States of America. This is our second event there, and it's going to be a great night of boxing. We're going to pack the undercard with some amazing young talent, and the goal of Big Time Boxing USA, it's like boxing after dark and Showbox come together. This is,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, boxing. This is Big Time Boxing USA special edition, which is kind of like HBO's Boxing After Dark. We have Glenn Perret, who created artwork for Sopranos, Sex and the City, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Bill Maher, etc., and most of the HBO championship fights. He did the artwork for the show, and the poster is absolutely incredible. It's a work of art, and these are all different things that we try to incorporate into our shows, into our events, to make sure that boxing grows, that boxing fans get a full experience from the lead up to the fight itself, and there'll be more things coming as we get closer.
Yeah, and you were talking about the thing there with Big Time Boxing, on the zone. We had a great event there in the last event that was headlined by Jermaine Franklin getting a stoppage win over Devin Vargas, and also included Joshua Pagan getting a decision win in that particular event. Like, talk about the growth of Big Time Boxing, and how having multiple people on the team, and having of course, like, the commentary a team there of Corey Erdman, Raul Marquez, and Al Bernstein as part of the team.
So I'm very grateful that we were able to get some of this great talent to work together. One of the things that I got to say is that I love the sport of boxing. I grew up in the sport of boxing as a fan and looked at it closely and have been through various high-level promoters, Top Rank and Bob Arum being my first promoter, and then the Beller, and then Square Ring, and I fought for Golden Boy. And so I've always watched and paid attention, and I feel that I have a lot to contribute to the sport of boxing. I'm young, I'm hungry, and I can't possibly be beat, as Muhammad Ali.
I'm young, I'm fast, I'm pretty, and I can't possibly be beat.
That's right. So, we want to, as I always look at things as a boxing fan, and I feel that with HBO and Showtime leaving a gap in a talent development platform, in storytelling, and the DAZN is doing a great job in picking it up. And I feel that Saudi Arabia has come in at the right time to make these big fights happen, which is great for boxing. And we're kind of fitting in where we can, and which is developing great talent, putting on great content, putting on great fights. The Roger Hilly versus Joshua Pagan fight, which was the co-main event, stole the show. I believe it was prospect fight of the year. Myself and many other writers that were at the event. Two undefeated fighters, 9-0 versus 13-0, both wanting to take a step up in competition. Both very solid amateur careers, skilled, good fighters, young, hungry, on television, and then it was a great fight. I mean, just nonstop action, bell to bell, and those are the fights that we want to give the boxing fans. The opening bout, we had Ali Akhmedov, who's a highly touted super middleweight, and then Jermaine Franklin in the main event. And July 27th, we're going to give it another variation of great talent on the undercard. Joshua Pagan, even though he was cut, he's going to come back on that show, showcase his skills again. And we're going to have some big names that we'll announce shortly.
Gotcha. Of course, you have a great roster there under Salita Promotions that, is been growing. It's basically been growing here over the past couple of years. And I think you had some news in reference to that, like a recent signing there of Michelle Rivera as part of your team. So how is it to be able to sign Michelle Rivera to be part of your roster?
Good. So he's gonna make his debut, his debut under our banner on that show, on the July 27th show. We're gonna announce it soon. But he's one of the best junior welterweights in the world. The DAZN is deeply ingrained in the junior welterweight division, and it is one of the hottest divisions in boxing. So I believe that he will be of interest. In March, we had Shoji Hanagashi for scored spectacular first round knockout. Another guy that's very of interest in the division. So it's going to be a great card, and looking forward to fans tuning in on the DAZN and those that are in Detroit and in Michigan tri-state area, please come out and check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, with Michelle Rivera being there at around the 140-pound division, like he's looking to make noise there at 140. I know he's had one or two fights, but there with being alongside their Salita Promotions now, he's ready to build himself up into that 140-pound ranking. So definitely looking forward to that. Now, before I go into more in reference to other fighters, you go back to this thing here with Big Time Boxing USA. Now I've kind of heard that a number of people have kind of grown and gravitated towards Big Time Boxing USA, and you building that there in Detroit. Have you had any interest in branching out there with Big Time Boxing USA?
Yes. So we did the first 3 shows in Detroit because that's where I'm based, and we wanted to make an accent on rejuvenating big time boxing in the city of Detroit, and doing another show in Little Caesars Arena, I believe, is gonna strengthen that initiative. We're working on another show in Flint for later on in the summer, early fall. But for the rest of the year, we're working on shows outside of Detroit. Certainly would love to come to New York City and Florida, as I've stated previously, and working in that direction.
Gotcha. So yeah, we're definitely want to see Big Time Boxing USA branch out there because like you said, you want to have that based there in Detroit, but with the building and growing in popularity, you want to branch it out and have it be like a franchise or a series that could bring more attention, not just nationwide, but of course worldwide. There with multiple fighters fighting under that Big Time Boxing USA platform there.
Yeah. And I mean, the goal is to be the premier talent development platform in the United States, and it means a combination of competitive fights and some showcase fights, depending on where the fighters are in their careers. But the card has to have different variations of different fighters on different stages in their career in competitive fights, but different level of competitive fights. Maybe a prospect fighting a gatekeeper, sometimes a prospect fighting a prospect, and there's various styles and various nuances to making great fights happen. And I believe that, with our history from doing fights on Showbox and some of the best fights that have ever happened on that series, we were responsible for. So we're going to take some of that and transfer it to Big Time Boxing USA. And without a broadcast deal, in previous years we developed fighters from zero to hero, meaning from beginning of their careers to world title opportunities.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's only going to get easier and better for the fighters and most importantly for the boxing fans through the series, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Now you were talking about.
I don't, I love boxing and I'm inclusive and I believe that everybody should be successful. But objectively, I don't think there's a talent development series in the United States now that is as good as Big Time Boxing USA. And just in terms of obviously the fighters that we represent, but also people outside the ring that tell the stories, like Raul Marquez, former world champion, very knowledgeable, many years of experience working on Showtime, Championship Boxing, and Showbox. Corey Erdman is just phenomenal, has tremendous experience, very worldly, knows boxing. And of course, Al Bernstein, Hall of Famer, big name, big social media following. His word carries a lot, and is able to dissect the fight and translate it to fans that don't know much about boxing, to pull them in and to make sure they get excited about the sport. And that's the goal.
Yeah, no doubt. And, like you said there, with that team, they're able to, properly, I would say, like give fight fans a visualization of what's going on in the ring there, and be able to build, like a fan following with what they're able to, convey with the fighters that you have featured on Big Time Boxing USA. So that's, very important to have a team like that to be, to be part of it. And like you said, there you have your fighters that were coming from Showbox and now here through Big Time Boxing USA, that's able to become from prospects to contenders to like world champion or contenders and things like that. Speaking of that, there's one fighter that's under Salita Promotions and Vladimir Shishkin. And I know that you've been keeping an eye on what's been going on within the super middleweight division and the news in reference to as of right now, the undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez in the news in reference to the IBF. So have you gotten like any updates in reference to what's going on with the IBF?
Yesterday I got a letter saying that the purse bid that both teams asked for an extension to the purse bid. It was supposed to happen yesterday on Thursday, but they got 1 week extension, so it's going to be next Thursday. So I'm, for Vladimir, hope that they don't make a deal. But if they do make a deal, they do make a deal. There's nothing we can do. Vladimir is at number 2 position to fight William Skull if Canelo does not fight Skull. And looking forward to Vladimir fighting in that fight, and I believe having all the skills to be a champion. And once Vladimir beats Skull, and it's a great fight, I believe that he lines himself up with some of the best super middleweights in the world to fight Canelo and other fighters that may be available. He's a true talent and has been in the United States for the last 5 years training with Sugar Hill, and looking forward to a great ending to that story, meaning ending and which is going to be a new beginning, meaning that he was here from the beginning of his career, and getting a world title shot is really meaningful, and look forward to that happening.
Gotcha. Now, before I, let you go here, you had like one thing that happened last month where you were awarded the USBA Promoter of the Year there, with all of your hard work that's been going on with Salita Promotions. So what is it for you to like get that particular award from the USBA?
Again, I'm a boxing fan, and I'm very, and I watched all these things on TV for years growing up, and now to finally be participating in conventions and having fights on television and promoting some of the best fighters in the world I'm really blessed, and I feel that this is just the beginning for me, and there's much more to come. So I'm very grateful that such a organization like IBF, who is one of the best, because they abide by their rules, and there's no wiggle room. They really, uh, in this mandatory positions, we've seen it. When the time comes, they send a letter, and you know, you do it or you don't do it, or you vacate the title. So, very grateful that such an organization has given me an award, and it just inspires me and encourages me to keep going and doing what I need to do. Because
Yeah.
there are some haters out there, so so it's good to get some positivity.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like I mean, like you said, you get this award, and then like you're gonna keep working and keep working there, so that you get much more recognition there. You have a lot of those promoters that of course, that you've worked with and been a part of, that are pretty much like the what I say, the more quote unquote visible
Yeah.
promoters out there. But you're still out there, and you have the known name. Of
Well,
course, people know you from being a fighter. So it's like, hey, I mean, you still want to get in there and do the work, and work with the fighters, and with all parties involved, to make sure that the best fights are taking place.
yeah. So my journey in the promotion business has really been from the bottom, from club level shows, gradually up and up and up and up, and and that has been a tremendous experience for me. Something that, and minute details make a big difference in a fighter's career, in a relationship of promoters and people in the boxing business to the fans and to the sport of boxing. And I really believe that I'm in a unique position to deliver a lot of great things to the sport. Today, I got tagged by Havoc Boxing, down. Havoc Boxing is Andre Rozier, who started his journey in the Star City Boxing Club in 1995, which is when I started boxing, and send me private message of some pictures when we were kids, not kids, but like
Yeah,
older
real,
team,
real young. Yeah.
20, 19, 20, 21. And I saw it, and it just, so many memories came back. So a picture of me and Jimmy O and this guy Larry Jones, who was an old-time fighter, and then a picture of me with Danny Jacobs, Saddam Ali. I think Shushu's in that picture, Will Rosinski, a couple of other guys, and just there were so many champions that grew up together, and it's pretty awesome that I had that education, the real school of hard knocks, the Star City Boxing Club, and this is people don't really know about my history, because they look at me and they judge me because of my complexion, because of what I represent, and it's all good. We're people, it's fine, but
Mhm.
I have that background that really is incredible, and I'm so grateful that I spent so many years grinding in that gym with some of the best fighters in the world and some of the best trainers in the world, and getting that knowledge from Jimmy O, who is in the gates of heaven now, looking down, and hopefully is pleased with all the good he's done.
Yeah, most definitely.
Only in America, baby.
Yeah, only in America, baby.
Only in America.
And like you said, of course, being a fan, being a fighter, and then of course, right now being a promoter has brought you to this particular point, and all of that knowledge that you took along the way, gets you to where you're at right now. So, and like the best is yet to come here for Salita Promotions. So, big thanks for you to take the time out here to speak with us, man. And I know you're going to be going back to work on getting more of the best fights that are possible for you and your fighters.
Very good. We're gonna have a press workout next week for Claressa Shields at Downtown Boxing Gym in Detroit, and the week after that, we're gonna have an official press conference at Little Caesars Arena, and then we're gonna have some special build-up things leading up to the fight, and I'm very excited about it, and looking forward to making boxing, rejuvenating boxing in Detroit, and putting on a great event, a sold-out event at LCA on July 27th. Thanks a lot, man. Always a pleasure to come on. If there are people on, if you have somebody asking questions, we can do one question, and or maybe it's too early in the day.
Yeah, it might be too. I think it might be too early in the day or something like that for some people. But they, I think he had something from. I think it's Matt Gomez. He was talking about the Blue Horizon arena out there in that area, and that was like a good venue. Like, having those multiple fan friendly venues out there in Detroit and in the Michigan area. So
Blue Horizon was Blue.
Well,
I mean, used to watch Tuesday Night Fights, which is a great series. Blue Horizon was in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, Philly.
But Detroit and Philadelphia have many similarities. Home to many great fighters, and the Philly grind, Detroit grind, I believe, has Eddie Futch. I believe started in Detroit, but then went to Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other great fighters that did that. So there's definitely a connection. And check out our last show. It's available on DAZN from the Wayne State Fieldhouse. And tune in for the next one, July 27th. It's going to be fantastic from the opening fights, which we'll announce shortly.
Gotcha. So of course, y'all keep on the updates there with Dmitriy Salita and Salita Promotions. Of course, they have their website, salitapromotions.com. And also, check out their YouTube page with a lot of content, reference to previous fights, past fights, and news on what's going on with Salita Promotions. So be sure to catch up with what's going on with them through their social media channels.
And my Instagram, Dmitry_Salita, on Instagram and on Twitter or X, and Salita_Promotions on both Instagram and X/Twitter.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they're going to be calling it
Right.
within the next couple of weeks, so we'll see. But big thanks for you to join us here live, and we're definitely going to be seeing more from you and Salita Promotions here real soon.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to talk boxing with you. Look forward to next time. Thanks, man.
Gotcha. No problem.
Thanks, man.
So that it was Dmitriy Salita of Salita Promotions. There, of course, we got Big Time Boxing USA on DAZN. Their next presentation will be July 27th. Of course, headlined by Claressa Shields, going for the WBC heavyweight title against Vanessa Jones. There, the Little Arena in Detroit, and he will have more on that here in the coming weeks. So we're definitely looking forward to all of that. He was able to give us updates on what's going on with multiple fighters there under Salita Promotions. So very thankful for him to take the time to join us here on this channel, of course. But we'll have more going on. Of course, we got the fights coming up today. There's fights on DAZN. There's fights on Triller TV. Of course, you got that Adrian Broner versus Blair Cobbs this tonight. You got action that's gonna be tomorrow through Top Rank. You also the thing that's on DAZN that is part of the International Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. So they do have fights there over in Verona, New York. That's going down pretty much like right now. So definitely a lot of boxing action for y'all to check out. But here, we'll have more content for you on the Boxing Source. So like I said, we have a Boxing Source podcast Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Be sure to tune in for this one, as we're going to have like a preview of sorts of the June 28th card that's at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., headlined by Lamont Roach Jr. versus Fergal McCrory. That's going to be for the WBA title there at 130 pounds. So we're going to have scheduled Lamont Roach Jr. and also Derek Davis will be on the show or on the podcast on Sunday nights. Of course, Derek Davis is 3-0 with 3 KOs here in his professional career. So y'all be sure to check us out here live for that. But with that being said, that is what we got here for you right now through the Boxing Source. You check out more content through our website and also on our YouTube page. Of course, we got the interviews there with Gary Antoine Russell. We also have interview with the Wolf, Elijah Pierce, that is currently on the channel here right now that y'all be able to check out. So with that being said, it's a Boxing Source. I'm out.